All right, this one should be exciting. Boys, girls, and non-binary pals. Someone owes someone $80. Who could it be? Who could Poppy owe money to? Who could Poppy have been doing $10 per win and owe $80 to? It would have to be a magical being to slay Puppy Paw that much. Could it be, of course, only one person, the Canadian? It is I Am Magic. Playing as the Zhuji's legacy, going up against a European here. We've got Mikos, a.k.a. Garnath, playing as the Mongols. Now, this seemed like a fun one to me. One, because I have not had a chance to cast Magic in a while. And I love to see him playing the Chinese variant. I think he's one of the most excited players to watch on this Civ. On top of that, he's up against someone who probably is the most prolific Mongol user on Gorge. I don't feel like I've seen anyone use Mongols more here. And actually, Garnath has some very intriguing builds. In fact, you're already seeing it in action. He moves the TC right next to the Uvu for double villager production. Now, what makes this very interesting... You right back there, buddy? What makes this very interesting is this is a matchup where you would assume the Mongol player would look to get aggressive, right? He'd look to outpost drop, he'd look to spear spam and block you out of resources. You wouldn't expect him to pack his TC up, wheel it over to the Uvu, and forgo that opportunity to aggro in favor for an occasional second villager. Garnath is one of those players. He will indeed do this. I'll have to see if he chooses to opt for it heavily in this game. It does mean that you lose out on that initial aggression, right? That double production you'd otherwise have. And it does mean that Magic on the other side is going to get a more free early game, free of any pressure onto him. And free to potentially drop a disgusting Meditation Guard. And I think that does have the distance, folks. I think we are looking at the opportunity to get himself a 96 resources, food resources, Meditation Garden. There is also Double Stone, but that tends to be less popular. Let's check the scouting pattern. Dude, Magic has got such a greedy wide arc here, but oh my god, it might be perfect. Oh, you're disgusting. Get out of it. Get out of here. Like, how? Come on. The balls on this man, it's almost like Magic just instinctually knows that the maneuver arrow has to still be on cooldown. So he makes that dive in, because here's the thing, folks. If the maneuver arrow was available, he would now be behind the Khan on this cycle. Instead, he cuts past him, and now Mikos has to go for this sucky, like, shorter route, which will get him at least one of the sheep. But it does mean, realistically, Magic should get more out of this rotation. Unfortunately, Gorge has weird spawns, so I think it comes out even from that exchange. Kind of disgusting how much more Magic potentially could have got out of that. So, sheep exchange in the end is still going to be heavily infected. Oh, come on. You were hiding under a tree, damn it. Okay, it still does favor Magic here, though. It's 9 compared to Magic getting his hands on 11, so a lot more healthy for him. Also, keep in mind, Magic has been actively clubbing. This isn't one of those matchups where someone was on berries. It is just Mikos being behind. And if I'm not mistaken, there's some weird gaps. No one done this corner, so there might be 2 sheep over here. There might also be 1 around the center, but I think everything else has been taken, if I'm not mistaken. I believe we've definitely been doing the double production. So Mikos already a villager ahead. It's going to be able to escalate that further and further. Meanwhile, Meditation Garden is going to be exactly where we anticipated it. Between the 2 berries, with the wood as well. This is looking like probably about 110, 115 resource Meditation Garden. A very healthy one. I mean, the Jiangnan, so boy knows what he wants. But not under the stone, which is the kind of the curious detail to me. I'm wondering... Oh, sorry, I hit the 2 times there. I'm wondering if this might be a Chugi new spam build, which would make a lot of sense considering your opponent is going for greed. Just play aggro against him, right? Usually the reason why you wouldn't want to necessarily try to spam military units as Zhuji here is because the Mongol player already has military force, so he's the aggro in this matchup. But this is a very different Mongol build. Like, honestly, part of me is surprised he didn't go for Silver Tree. But then again, I think Mikos is a believer in what I've been talking about, which is ever since they changed trade to return resources at each end, I think Silver Tree's potency fell off the side of a cliff compared to Deerstone. Deerstone just feels a lot better, even more so when you're double producing villages, because it's just more effective economy that is boosted on its efficiency. Can't give you a little bit of a pain in the ass in the meantime. That is at least taking a little bit of food and wood away as well. So Jiangnan activated. And he is going to be on the stone. So we are going to get the multi-TC build. So instead of trying to aggro the Mongol player, he's just going to try to outgreed him. How very Chinese of you. Some good placements for secondary TCs as well. I could see a world in which he drops on the gold to secure long-term gold. Deer at the back is just a no-brainer, right? Natural farm transition afterwards in that area. Just depends how much resource he feels like he needs to secure. I could see him leaning left side on this map just because the spawn was really beneficial. Stone and gold in this area, not to mention boar in the corner. Just has a lot of play potential that's easily defendable. Second TC from Mikos. We go north side here, though. That's the benefit of the Yam. The Yam really did help accelerate that wood gathering on the second half to get into this second TC. This placement's a bit interesting. It's going to secure gold. So I think Mikos's worry right now is that his opponent might be going for Chuginu spam. And if he does that, he doesn't want to be gathering gold on the front side. Like, this is the shortest distance for Magic to reach. So by going back here, he adds in about another third of the distance to cover to block out gold play. And also, it's very easy to defend this area because of the tree lines. Not to mention the ripple effect, right? Deer on the backside here. Plenty to play in this area. Second TC is going to be condensed in the meantime by Magic, so not looking to get risky and frisky. Understandably so, right? He's got plenty of sheep to work with. The berries are secure. He's got passive food kicking in constantly here. Like, that's the crazy thing. Despite this double villager production occasionally for Mikos, realistically, he's behind. Look at that. 110 resources, so almost 3 villagers extra. Then we've got the Imperial Official, which gives even more, which essentially offsets the effect of Yam. And also, keep in mind, whenever you have to go hard on gold like this, that's, I think, where the value of Deerstone falls. If you're playing only eco, the biggest edge you get out of Deerstone is multi-TC play. Everything else just kind of feels... Yep, that's my official word for it. Because think about it. Like, right now, how far does he run to drop off gold with these villagers? That's it. That's what you're doing Yam for. Like, it adds up a little bit over time, but compare that to this distance he has to walk. Much more effective. A little bit surprised, by the way. I think Mikos may be slightly inefficient with the Deerstone placement. Could move it closer to keep this at maximum efficiency. Could also pack the gear up and move in. Another thing about Deerstone, I tend to like it when people are looking for aggressive options, because the cool thing that I've seen out of a few players, top-level players, they pack up the Deerstone and they move it to the front line. It becomes part of their active engagement, because if you've ever played Mongols and tried to rush up an outpost, or even English and tried to rush up an outpost, in the middle of a combat zone, very easy to lose a villager or just idle yourself out for 2 minutes. Not much people can do about a Deerstone. It's already built, and it has wheels. Granary already dropped on the backside, so Magic already prepped himself for that farm transition. It's going to be a cozy one with the Song Dynasty. Nice big fat 40% discount. Feels like no matter how many times I say that 40% discount as the number, it doesn't sound any less disgusting. Khan's scouting out what's coming as well. So Keshiks are being pumped, but I think we should be getting Archie play behind this. Plenty of wood to work with in that area. I love how this Khan, dude. Come on. How are you getting away with this? Is he actually going to get out of range? Oh! That was so close. Mikos got a bit cute there. I think the slope screwed him over. He didn't realize how close to the spearman he was. If he hadn't got hit by that spear, he would have just idled out this army for an extra 20 seconds and got away. Instead, Khan goes down. Outposts are coming up. Remember, he's already got an outpost to this north side. No arrow slits, which feels like a little bit of an oversight. I think this many spears and Chuginu could burn this down. It depends how aggressive Magic's feeling. Has he got the blacksmiths yet? It looks like he hasn't. So no opportunity to go into a ram. If he wants to commit into this base, it's going to have to be infantry. Nico's just trying to pick off reinforcements. Easier said than done. I think this is a very healthy approach to the composition right now from Magic. Essentially has a spearman to escort every Chuginu. And the problem is because Mikos went for 2 TC, his cavalry number isn't really high enough to threaten anything right now. He needs eco to kill. That's the only thing he can take. Problem is this is a very condensed approach for the Zhuji. Courtesy of the fact that practically every build they're going to build is 40% cheaper, which is totally reasonable and a balanced approach to a civ for only a landmark that costs 600 resources. If you could not detect the sarcasm in my voice, my apologies, I'm British. We either always sound sarcastic or never sound sarcastic. There's no in between. This should be enough to burn this. Outpost is only now getting an arrow slit, so I don't feel like you should be scared if you're Magic here. Yeah, it's going to be a commitment in. Remember, there's way too many villagers here. You take out the outpost first, they can't even run. A little bit of hesitation there, though. Magic decides to back away. Now, he could have easily taken that out. I think he's getting a bit paranoid that there might be more archers behind this, so back up. I imagine we should be getting a blacksmith drop soon then. Yeah. Supervision into the siege engineering could just break this very fast. Dive in again. We'll get one freebie. Spearmen are now going to commit. Now, this is what was missing. I think this is... He realizes this area is just not defendable right now for Mikos. Even dives on the outpost to make sure there's no repairs coming out. And that was critical, by the way. If Green got the second outpost up, I don't think this army can dive this. But instead, now you can just move past. Chase after the villagers. No yam means they cannot run away. Now, Mikos, being the greedy, eco-efficient boy he is, did go for wheelbarrow. That's the key detail. If he did not have wheelbarrow right now, he'd be 6 more villagers down. Right now, Magic realizes that he's 2 eco up. Army is reacting though, so needs to make sure he doesn't lose all the spears here. This loop-de-loo is actually still decent for Magic. Remember, he's got 7 spearmen in there. There's only 5 archers, so if this fight commences straight away with just an A-click, I still favor Magic here. Well, Keshiks are coming though. Brace comes out. Does pinch one the Keshiks, an insta-kill there, so nicely done. Keshik's taking heavy losses. Shugenu just sniping out the archers. Great micro here from Magic. Last of Spearmen are going to go down. Now, if you just target down these injured Keshik, this is still a good exchange for Magic. But right now, he goes after the archers. More Spearmen coming in, and Mikos is in trouble. Shugenu should eventually get cleaned up, but the losses are heavy for him here. Spearman is outnumbered. Undermesh is now going to make the difference, but still these archers. Oh, man, Magic is so good for this. It's just so awkward the way he forces this fight, where you look and you're like, oh, Mikos is ahead. No, because he just keeps running towards more spears while cleaning up archers, which means the spearmen are never counted. Just a great read, and now behind this, not only did Magic win those fights convincingly, not only did he idle a lot of eco, he also got what he needed for a tech up. Shaolin Monastery is on the way, second granary is being dropped. I don't know if it's this Civ or if it's Magic, but whatever it is, this doesn't feel legit. I think it's Magic. Just a reminder to people, Magic is the only player who was able to beat Marine Lord in Red Bull Wall. And Marine Lord won Red Bull Wall. So technically, that would make Magic the greatest Age of Empires 4 player on LAN, if you think about it. He's definitely looking like the greatest player here. I mean, Mikos, what is the play out of this? He doesn't have a tech up, right? He's trying to save for it now, but his army is already heavily outnumbered. Army value-wise, Magic has the advantage there, and he's going to have the tech advantage as the veterancies are coming through soon. Shaolin Monks also moving out for the relics to continue that pressure, and the Deerstone gets spotted. Mikos is going to lose the landmark. Starts to dive into the base, though. Might be able to get himself a bit of a trade here. Like he just casually drives past the hand cannon slits here. Because it's not even the primary TC, right? Yeah, it's the secondary. Villagers are going to have to garrison, so not sure if there's going to be the best exchanges initially for Magic, but if he continues to dive here, can even up quite well for him. Kurultai is being rushed up behind this by 20 villagers from Mikos. Now villager losses on the backside. Magic. Maybe I praised him a bit too quickly. Heavy losses on his economy. Gets caught making the triple granary transition. Does pay a price. A lot of idle time on the backside here, so this investment just not paying dues. A quick cancel on a lot of the farms there, understanding that he doesn't want to give over the burn down. Doesn't want to give that bounty across to the Mongols. Has been forced to reset, though. Deerstone did survive. Monks are still looking towards those relics. Now, outposts are being set up by Mikos, but the problem with these outposts as a defense structure is the hardened skin means the Baolin... I was about to call them Baolin monks. Shaolin monks, the Shaolin battle monks, can dive underneath the static defenses and use Body of Iron to survive. Probably what you need to at this base. Just gets the freebies. So 2 relics already on the way home. We have not got any type of monastery play yet out of Mikos. They're taking their time a bit. Keep in mind, by the way, if Magic does manage to get 4 of these relics, in conjunction with having granaries like this, his eco is going to be stronger. So Mikos needs to accelerate towards that timing. little bit of miss micro there. Or aggro back by the Keshiks. I believe that monastery is not double pumping, right? Where did he build it? Am I blind? I feel blind. I feel really blind. Am I just having one of those days, chat? I do not see a monastery, yet I see these things being produced. Did he build it over here? Oh, he built it in the mid-map. That's actually pretty creative from Mikos. So he can at least take away the relics, but the downside is he's now kind of further away from the others. So this is still looking like a 4-relic game for Magic. Spinman also on a wide arc here. Just looking to sweep the map. Seems like Mikos is switching to Horseman, which is an ambitious choice and a bad one to make when you're up against Palace Guard. Is Magic thinking about what I think he's thinking? If Magic can snake his way up to Imp, which with the economy of Juji isn't as hard as you'd think, and gets the Divine Haste on Palace Guard, this game is essentially over. It's a very greedy choice, but he has been taking good trades. Teleporting Keshik's, not sure what the hell was going on there. They will make their way in. Palace Guard should be there to at least answer that, so we'll be able to push him away from this. Shout out to the anonymous gifter. I appreciate you, buddy. Thank you very much for the sub support. You guys make these streams possible. Got to make money somehow. Glad you guys are getting your entertainment value out of them. So little raid. Gonna do a bit of damage. Not too hard to repair here. Keep in mind the Keshik numbers are not high right now. Mikos' army is pretty hard countered by the Palace Guard incoming. It's important that he identifies that that's what was attacking him in the base and preps the transition to crossbows here. But right now, he's doubling down on archers. Now, archers fare a bit better against Palace Guard compared to men-at-arms because Palace Guard have one less ranged armor. But this is still going to be a hard fight to take on raw archer count. I love that he's just trying to exploit the fact that there's not many wolves coming out from Magic. But the problem is that only is effective when Magic's playing out of his base. When he's playing on the defensive, he can hold on with that format. What he might not be able to hold on against, though, is the Kurultai now shining on the front side. This is a heavy damage buff, and I'm wondering, is this why Mikos went Archer instead of Crossbow? Because if so, that is bloody creative. By going for Archers, the way you boost your damage up, you're actually not that terrible up against Palace Guard. Sure, Crossbows would still be better, but this is more cost efficient, and this... Oh, this is a heavy loss. Magic gets caught trying to go for the wall here. Several more villages down the drain. Look at the difference now, 24 to 4 losses in the work account. Magic gets punished trying to get that wall up, and now it feels all but pointless. Archer's moving in. Cav's going to peel off. Men-at-Arms going to take the clash. The wraparound with the Keshik's chasing after the villagers. And the Spearmen are going to be going down, so problems in Magic Land here. All spears are going to be lost on this flank attack. More villagers also falling. And more control coming in. As Mikos says, I am a Juji landmark. Well, hold on a sec. One of these is not quite like the other. It's like just getting ahead of myself. I'm perfectly parked for the fight. Men-at-Arms and Archers move in. That's a heavy damage buff. Kesic's even going to charge into this. Archer reinforcements are coming, and this is just not a fight Magic can take. No, guys, chill. This is the Kublai Khan era. It's fine. This is a totally logical landmark. Wallow coming out. A Wallow, nope. Farm's been accessed again. This game actually looks like it's almost over. I don't know how Magic gets out of this spine now. Khan's at least down, so that's a thumbs up for him, but everything else is just down alongside it. This flood through, I mean, the Palace Guard can at least chase the Keshiks. They're just not going to kill them quickly. And it feels like the Archer mass is a bit too big here. Kurultai is on the move again. And the villagers have nowhere to go. Nesta Beast, what no! Villagers, they're going to get the repair. But honestly, do you care if you're Mikos? How much eco damage have you done at this stage? He's killed 10 times more workers in this game. But he's a greedy boy. He wants more. So many villagers and units dying. Look at the poor villagers. Keep it alive, boys. Keep it alive. Oh, my God. The Keshiks are going to get cleared up. The Archer Mash is going to get reset. But, folks, the numbers speak for themselves. 45 eco to 93. Mikos, the only reason he hasn't ended this game yet is his troops need to catch up. But when they do, Magic is in for a spanking. Not the kind he'd pay buku bucks for. Ah, dude, what a crazy game. I gotta give him to it. Mikos, man, he is something to witness with the Mongols on this map. Just so many funky, different style builds. And I say funky in a complimentary way, in that you just don't expect it. It catches you off guard, and by the time you realize what you're up against, it almost feels like it's a little bit too late to do anything about it. Credit to him, though. Magic, the crazy part, like, that really impresses me about Mikos with these builds as well, is Magic, for all intents and purposes, won the early game. Like, he dominated the early game. Those engagements, the way he microed the Shuginu, Mikos would never argue that he won those engagements. But his leverage of this Kurultai with that specific timing punished Magic at the worst possible timing. Now Magic, only thing keeping in this right now are the Nesta Bees. The worry for me, I'm watching that Keshik number go up. You know what else isn't going up? Or rather, what isn't going up instead? Spearman count. He has one Spearman to defend against this. Pascal can try to body block, but against this many Keshik, it's not going to work. Movement speed arrow, the charge in from Mikos. Spreads the line thin and gets around the back. Nesta Bees are going to go down. Men-at-Arms onto the other knobs. And that has to be it. That army is far too big and far too strong. Magic in full retreat again. And I just don't see how you hold on anymore. It's time for the Imposter to return to his original location. And from there, I imagine he's going to be looking to take the rest of the relics away from the Chinese here. Great micro, great strategic understanding on this map on a wider scale by Mikos. One of the best usages, rather, of the Kurultai I've seen this entire expansion, without a doubt in my mind. And now, without a doubt in my mind, this game is over. It looked close before. We're going to see a mass hauling of villagers to try and repair again, but I just don't see it anymore. He knows it's over. He tries to say, please don't kill me, but Mongols only speak one language, and Mikos only speaks Mongols on Gorge.